of the National Assembly in June 2009 to November 2010, among others. She has selflessly served this great nation. So therefore, we today celebrate a great woman, a woman who has contributed immensely in the socio-economic development of the nation. Therefore, ladies, I ask you in joining me to welcome our guest speaker, Mrs. Elizabeth Yaminde Rena. Welcome, Mrs. Rena, once again. In your curriculum vitae, we saw that you had won various beauty contests. Can you tell us about that experience?
Thank you for inviting me, first of all. I'm not sure whether that is part of the role of teachers as a role model. Anyway, perhaps it has something to do with it because it shows that you have to be an all-round person. You don't necessarily have to just be somebody who is concerned with academic affairs to be in the limelight. Neither does it mean that going to beauty contests should make you forgo your studies and your main role in the country in which you are. Because I'm sure you all know that I am very concerned about women and the development of women, and it's essential for people, both men and women, to appreciate the fact that a woman can be anything she wants to be if she's given the opportunity to be that. And women should stop being considering themselves as frail, as not being able to do things, hiding behind their feminism and saying, oh, I'm a woman, I'm not allowed to do this, I'm not allowed to do that. Because biologically there's nothing that prevents you from doing anything, unless of course you don't have the strength to do it. That's why when they talk about 50-50, I tell the men, look, it's actually 50-50 because the two of us are partners and we have to work together. There are things we can do which you cannot do, and there are things you can do which you cannot do. If we cannot lift a heavy box, neither can you give birth to a baby. So we have to actually work together. So yes, I did take part in the beauty contest. Actually, the first one was not intentional. It was when we had the independence celebration, when the Gambia had its independence in '65. There was a dance which was organized by the then Meta Youth Club, and we went to this dance, and I can still see myself in this beautiful satin gray African dress, Daggit and Malan, of course, Daggit and skirt it was actually. And they invited people to dance, and we danced, and then they started eliminating, I was dancing because I enjoyed dancing, not because I was competing. However, I don't know, maybe I danced too much or too well. I became one of the last 5 people there, and in the end I won the crown as Miss Independence. And in fact, I'm very proud of that title because it's I'm the only Miss Independence. There is none other. So I celebrate my Miss Independence anytime we have our independence celebration. And then there were others. There was one which was very important because it was organized again by a club, but for the government. That was when we wanted to start tourism, and they wanted to bring in the Scandinavian people, tourists. So they had a Miss Scandinavia beauty contest, and I won, and as a result I had to go to Sweden. Unfortunately, it was in the middle of winter, and I came back with all my nails falling out. But I did enjoy it anyway. But as I said, you can be a beauty queen and you can be somebody, that is respected also as a woman.
Madam Rena, can you share your days as a teacher?
My days as a teacher. Okay. I started teaching in 1964. I don't know how many of you were here then. in St. Joseph's. Oh yes, I have some of my students. Mrs. Ndejeng Jalo. She was Ndejeng then.
Okay.
She was. She has that beautiful ajara too. Can you show her, please, Mrs. Ndejeng, in the mauve? Yes, in the lilac. That's the one. Can you wave your hand, Mrs. Ndejeng?
Okay.
Yes. She was a student in at St. Joseph's High. And later on, that was in 64. She was in Form 3, I think. Am I right? Form 1. Ah, okay, Form 1. Later on, I taught in St. Joseph's junior secondary. It was then called St. Joseph's Technical or something like that. And I have other 2 students. Yaga, Marie, Mrs. Marie Bakore. Can you wave, please? And also Mrs. Mbachu Gomez.
Mbachu.
Yes, you see. And as you see, I can say I was a good role model, because today, if you look at those people, you will see that they have really, followed our footsteps. I won't say my footsteps alone, but our footsteps at the time. And you would know that all of them are very well respected people in this community. In fact, I believe Yaga was once head of a school. She has retired. Mrs. Jalo also was head of Marina, and in fact now she runs her own school. Yes, she has her own preschool. And she's doing very well indeed. Mbachu also was very active. Mbachu was a nurse. And then later she was snatched by Louis Gomez, Louis Gomez. Yes, and so she's now taking care of Louis Gomez, while Louis Gomez is taking care of the vice president. So she's very important. So after that, I taught there, and then later on I went to Sukuta Junior Secondary. Actually, I started the junior secondary school, which is there, because it was formerly with the primary school. And then I had it built, had a new place, identified the place, and it was built, and I was there. However, later on, I went to do my master's degree, and by the time I came back, somebody else was there, and that was when I went to curriculum, and then from there to St. Augustine's. And I ended up in St. Augustine's, first as an English teacher, then as head of English department, then as vice principal, then as the first and only principal, female principal of St. Augustine's High School, which I'm very proud of.
So I can see that we are not wrong in choosing you as our guest today on this topic, Sis, which is how can female teachers be role models to the students. I think she can share lights with us just a bit on that topic.
Okay. But I believe before we get into the topic, we'll just take a break here and invite our artist, and so that she can just play some hits for us. Then we continue with our discussion.